Good morning. I'm Andy Myers at Weiss Research, and this is your morning market update for Wednesday, April 27th. Jen Amos is off today. Stocks on Wall Street are off to a relatively strong start as investors digest another round of corporate earnings and a report on durable goods orders and await the conclusion of the Federal Reserve's two-day meeting in Washington. At 12:30 p.m. Eastern, the central bank will announce its decision on monetary policy. It's widely expected to leave interest rates unchanged near record lows and continue its $600 billion bond buying program. Of more interest to Fed watchers will be Chairman Ben Bernanke's first ever post-meeting press conference at 2:15 p.m. Economists say he's likely to stick to discussing the Fed's new forecasts, but he's likely to get questions on the central bank's plan after its second round of quantitative easing ends in June. On the economic front, orders for durable goods rose 2.5% in March, led by higher demand for transportation equipment, computers, and defense-related products. February orders were also revised to show a gain. Last month's numbers were not quite as good as expected, but they marked the third straight monthly increase. A big part of that increase was orders for aircraft, and the biggest U.S. beneficiary of that demand was Boeing. That stock is rising to a 52-week high today after it reported a 13% rise in first quarter profit. Boeing also reaffirmed its earnings outlook for the full year. Defense contractor Northrop Grumman boosted its full-year forecast and raised its dividend following its earnings report. Higher operating margins at Northrop offset a decline in sales, helping that stock to a nearly 2% gain. But shares of ConocoPhillips are dropping 1.5%. Its profit and sales rose during the first quarter, but oil production fell and its refining activity failed to meet targets. Turning to the technology sector, Amazon.com is rising more than 1% in early trading. After yesterday's closing bell, it reported weaker than expected net income, but revenue rose 38%. And chipmaker Broadcom is tumbling 10%. Its revenue forecast for the current quarter missed expectations. After today's closing bell, we'll get quarterly results from eBay as well as Starbucks. Meanwhile, Apple announced that it's launching a white version of the iPhone 4 in 28 countries on Thursday, including the US and UK. In addition, Apple will introduce the iPad 2 in Japan, Hong Kong, Korea, Singapore, and 8 other countries. Updating a story we told you about a couple weeks ago, Johnson & Johnson is buying the Swiss medical device maker Synthes for $21.3 billion. Reports earlier this month had pegged the value of the potential deal at about $20 billion. J&J will add the Synthes product line to its own orthopedics business. But the final terms of the agreement are still unclear, and Johnson & Johnson is dropping more than 1% in early trading. Elsewhere in the healthcare sector, Merck approved a new stock buyback plan worth $5 billion, in addition to the $1.4 billion remaining under a previous program. Merck shares are rising 0.5% on the news. That's the latest from Weiss Research. Have a great trading day.